This is the Vsb TV 11 News for Wednesday, July 9th. I'm Peter Cattell. Our top story: a Bermuda delegation is already planning a 2-week trip to Europe, the UK, and the USA to talk to 5 cruise ship operators about their possible involvement in the island's hosting of the 2017 America's Cup. In a clear indication that Bermuda is the favorite to host the qualifying and final rounds of the prestigious sailing contest, Bermuda Tourism Authority CEO Bill Hanbury told Vsb News' Brian Darby today that Bermuda's choice as one of the 2 possible venues would have a definite impact on our tourism appeal.
I hope this is a unifying moment for us and a chance for us to really truly realize that Bermuda can again return as one of the preeminent tourism destinations in the world, and these kinds of events certainly help that. I don't believe any one event ever will do that for us, but if there ever was an event that could do it, it's certainly America's Cup.
It's a catharsis, it's an inspiration. You can't buy that, can you?
You cannot buy this kind of stuff. You have to be designated. You have to. This is for real. People made this decision about Bermuda because they truly believe that Bermuda has the competencies, the expertise, and the physical capabilities to do this, and that's an incredible feather in our cap that, by the way, the BTA in the country ought to be promoting as much as possible.
Now, your chairman mentioned, and I hope he wasn't joking, that cruise ships could be used to help with the accommodation. He wasn't joking.
No, he was not joking. Actually, next week, anticipating that we might be down to the final strokes, next week and the following week, we actually will visit with 5 cruise lines around the world. We'll be in the UK, we'll be in Germany, and then we'll be in the United States, meeting with cruise lines to make sure that they know of our interest of them repositioning vessels here during America's Cup. We're also there talking about another subject, bringing smaller vessels to Hamilton and St. George's, but those conversations need to happen right now in order for the cruise lines to anticipate 2017, and if in fact they're going to reposition a ship, they got to be thinking about it right now.
From what you've seen over the past, the world does turn its attention to this, doesn't it? But I suppose the film is rather like the BGA golf. What you see on the television around the world is what you get. This is Bermuda.
Yeah, there's no question about it. And I think America's Cup will tell you that they've looked at a lot of venues and they are the experts in this. And the reality is that they believe that Bermuda has the finest sailing venue of anywhere in the world. The Great Bay is absolutely perfect for the big boats, and from a television perspective, because this will be seen by millions and millions of people around the world, it is the ideal venue for photographing and videography of this event. And so you'll have helicopters up, you'll have drones up, and the images and views of Bermuda during that time frame, whether we get the finals or not, we are going to have a chance to put our best foot forward, show the best side of Bermuda to the world, and it will help us from a tourism perspective in the long run.
So this must have cheered you up enormously after some of the bad things you've had to put up with.
None of it's bad. It's all just part of the job. But the reality is, this is very, very positive news. And the reality is that there will be no one thing that will turn tourism for Bermuda. But certainly this is a tremendous feather in our cap and a great opportunity for us to articulate, even after the event, articulate ourselves as a world-class destination that can do world-class events.
Airport manager Aaron Adderley has assured the people who were alarmed by the missed approach of a Canadian cargo plane a week ago that the plane was carrying out a normal procedure and presented no danger to the people working and accessing the airport. The plane was using a glide path that is not normally used by aircraft landing at the Bermuda airport, and so its decision to abort its first landing approach and go around placed the Boeing 727 jet in an unusual position for viewers, and its loud engines would have given the impression that it was making an emergency move. In fact, a missed approach is not an unusual maneuver and is often adopted in bad weather. No investigation will be needed. Ever since he became an independent senator 3 years ago, Senator James Jardine has used the budget debate to point out the danger of allowing a large number of quangos and government bodies to avoid declaring their full financial statements in an orderly fashion, despite the fact that hundreds of millions of dollars are involved. Today, the Senate passed a Treasury bill that will require bodies like WETCO, the Bermuda Hospitals Board, the Housing Corporation, and even parish councils to get their ducks in a row on time and in full compliance.
Well, I think the reason I've been pushing for this for a number of years is that the present consolidated fund accounts that we see in Parliament do not include any of the significant quangos that sit outside it, such as the Bermuda Land Development Corporation, Bermuda Housing Corporation, Bermuda Hospitals Board, the Bermuda College. The list is quite a long list of significant entities which are excluded. And so when I say excluded, I mean the financial statements we see now don't include the assets, the liabilities, the guarantees, the contingent liabilities, and so on, which sit on the financial statements of all of these other entities. And I know that this is something that the Auditor General is keen to see happen, and I believe her predecessor, that we can bring all of these accounts together in one set of consolidated financial statements. I think the other good thing is, and if I had any criticism of the current legislation, there were no timelines set for the preparation for these. And I think I'm a firm believer in setting timelines and deadlines so that accounts are prepared, that audits are completed, and that we can see these combined financial statements. I recognize, as the Minister said, that it will take a while for all of these accounts to get up to snuff in terms of up-to-date audits, but I do think they should press on with it as quickly as possible so that in Parliament we can finally see a proper consolidated set of accounts which include all of the significant entities.
The Parks Department is once again having trouble with the dumping of waste on public beaches, including horse manure, and there have even been cases where horse riders have asked swimmers to leave the water at Jobson's Cove so that they could ride into the waves. The department is pointing out that it collects trash Monday through Friday and on Sundays, but trash tends to build up overnight and into the morning, even as they are doing their rounds. With regards to horse waste, the law says that no one shall take or ride a horse on the beaches in South Shore Park, Warwick Long Bay, John Smith's Bay, Elbow Beach Park, and Shelley Bay Park during the period May the 1st to October 31st. They may take or ride a horse on all other public beaches below the high water mark between the hours of 5 a.m. and 8 a.m. The tripping of the power switch in the Prospect area at 9:15 this morning has had the effect of cutting off the police communications network as well as the FM radio stations broadcasting of Vsb and ZBM stations. And Belco has been effecting repairs all day and estimates it will be early evening before power is restored and FM stations come back on the air. Several householders and businesses were also without power as a result of the outage. One of the Department of Communications' most able press officers, Magnus Hennegolf, has resigned from his position after struggling for a year with the undercurrents caused by his winning of the Sage Commission Prize for the best paper on what ails the Bermuda Civil Service. His frank views, written originally as a confidential document, but later published because of its prize-winning status, earned the disapproval of Mr. Hennegolf's colleagues in the civil service, although they were later echoed by the Sage Commission's report. He will be greatly missed by the media, who found him to be hard-working, enthusiastic, and interested in presenting his masters in an honest light. Still ahead on the TV 11 News is Rachel with the weather preview.
Thanks, Peter. Mainly fair to fine conditions continue. On the radar, not much activity, so it looks like it's going to be a dry night, but please stay tuned for the full weather report later.
The weather radar picture provided courtesy of the Ministry of Transport on Vsb Tv 11.
You can count on us.
Save $2 on imported sweet southern peaches, just $1.99 per pound. Certified Angus beef, London broiled top round steak, only $6.49 per pound. For a quick meal, Libby's corned beef, just $3.79 for a 12-ounce tin. Heinz barbecue sauce, only $2.89 for an 18-ounce bottle. Select varieties of Tropicana Punch juices, just $4.09 for a 59-ounce carton. All stores open Monday through Saturday until 10 p.m.
You can count on us.
If you've been the victim of an uninsured or hit-and-run driver, your medical and other expenses may not be covered by your insurance. The good news is, there is coverage. The Motor Insurers Fund can provide you with compensation to help you through the crisis, whether suffering from physical injury, loss of wages, or extra expense incurred as a result of your injuries. For further information about the Motor Insurers Fund, visit mif.bm or call 505-8555. The Motor Insurers Fund, assurance after the unexpected.
A gentle reminder from the Office of the Tax Commissioner. It's tax time again. Taxpayers are reminded that payroll tax returns and corporate service tax returns for the quarter ending 30th of June 2014 are due on or before Tuesday, 15th of July 2014. Hotel occupancy tax returns for the month ended 30th of June 2014 are also due on or before Tuesday, 15th of July 2014. Full payment must accompany returns, otherwise penalties will apply. Taxpayers who are currently eligible for payroll tax relief under the retail, restaurant or hotel concessions must also file completed returns on or before the deadline. For more information, www.taxbermuda.gov.bm or call 297-7807, 297-7750 or 297-7751. Making your taxes a little less taxing.
Bermuda is an easy way to find great discounts while discovering fun activities to do in Bermuda. Discover the best spas, restaurants, activities, services, and shops at 50% off. Sign up to Bermuda and start saving today.
A private firm will be given the contract to impound motor vehicles when ordered to do so by the police, and will be able to charge daily fees ranging from $10 for motorcycles to $120 for large four-wheeled vehicles. The project, initiated by the former PLP administration and finished off by the OBA, was approved by the Senate today, but not before some concerns had been voiced. Senator Knowlton Brangman put the case for the private pound, and opposition leader Senator Diallo-Rabane voted in favor after expressing doubts about the draconian aspects of the legislation.
The fees, if memory serves me correctly, depending on the type of vehicle, for any portion of a day for an motorcycle can be, I think, $10. They range up to $90 to $130 maximum for a larger car, vehicle, so forth, depending on the offense.
So this is not when the car is impounded by the police for a forensic examination. This is when they find your car has in some way committed some offense.
Yes. There are two safety issues involved, Brian. The safety for the vehicle itself, because in many cases when a car is left, someone strikes the car or an accident can occur with no one actually being there, particularly in the areas where, say for example, at nighttime, if the area is not properly lit, someone can hit the car because they didn't see it until the last minute. So we are increasing road safety, not only for the car but for the motoring public.
So this man, the vendor, will come and pick it up and take it away and keep it?
Yes. Now, one of the, I think, problems that people have is understanding how this works. You actually can have access to your car within 24 hours.
I thought it was a bit draconian, some of the rationale of what you can do to have your car or vehicle impounded. And I thought, you know, well, what happens now? We're only 20 square miles, so, you know, you get stopped, you know, you have to deal with the police. Perhaps they have to take you to the station to deal with some outstanding matter. You know, what we've done in the past is the police would drive the car to a secure location near where it was stopped. They would park it, make sure that it's out of the way, and then when you're finished with whatever business you had to take care of, you can come back and get your vehicle. Now we're talking about, you know, putting an undue pressure on Mr. and Mrs. Bermuda, you know, who obviously need their transportation. A lot of people now need their transportation to get to and from work. As we know, jobs are, you know, scarce. So, you know, so to actually remove the car and then have to pay another fine, you know, could possibly put some undue pressure where there really need not be pressure, I would think.
The Bermuda College and the Fairmont Southampton received Moongate Awards demonstrating their commitment to setting and maintaining standards of excellence in Bermuda's hospitality industry. The Executive Director of the Bermuda Hospitality Institute presented the awards to Dr. Trescott Wilson, Dean of Business Administration at the Bermuda College, and Aswan Thomas, a member of the Leadership Development Program at the hotel.
Doing a very tremendous job in training young people for the tourism market and for the hospitality industry for a number of years. It's our business and it's our culture to get students into our program, to keep them, maintain them, and to train them to the highest level. There are a number of times when students will come into our program and will leave partway without getting their certification. We're hoping that by getting this award, it will motivate our students, our faculty, and the institution at large to stay on task to provide that training for our students and to motivate them to serve Bermuda better.
We're thankful for the BHI for actually recognizing us not once but twice for the awards. With one of the initiatives was our responsible corporation, where we not only include our colleagues, we also have our guests that join us as well. And it's a great experience to actually see us working together and showing that, you know, in Bermuda it's not just about the sustainability here on the island, but we also recognize it as a global recognition. So we thank our colleagues and we also thank our staff and the BHI for having us to be a part of this.
Now, here's a look at the daily markets, presented by Bias.
Here are the daily markets presented by Bias. Wall Street stocks rose, lifting global equities gauge as the Fed detailed its plan to allow a strengthening economy to fend for itself. U.S. stocks rebounded from a two-day sell-off as optimism over corporate earnings overshadowed central bank concerns that investors may be growing too complacent about the economic outlook. Ascendant Group declined 3.85% to $6.25, with 12,100 shares trading hands. BF&M dropped 5.86% to $16.70. 500 shares were traded. XL Group rose 1.12% to $33.39. European stocks were little changed as investors awaited minutes from the Federal Reserve's most recent meeting. The FTSE 100 declined 0.3% to 6,718. Pacific Rim indices retreated after equity valuations touched the highest this year and China inflation missed estimates. The Shanghai H index declined 1.23% to 2,039. The Hang Seng index dropped 1.55% to 23,176. Most Latin American indices advanced on the day. Argentina's Merval increased 2.07% to 8,321, and Chile's IGPA climbed 1.29% to 19,318. The Federal Reserve June meeting minutes reduced concern the central bank may have discussed accelerating plans for higher interest rates. The U.S. 10-year yield has a slight decline to 2.55%. The U.S. dollar fell as minutes from the Federal Reserve's last meeting failed to provide additional insight on the pace of interest rate increases next year. The Canadian dollar rose 0.2% versus the U.S. dollar. That was a look at the daily markets presented by Bias. There's more news after the break.
Purdue Fresh Chicken Leg Quarters, only $1.59 per pound, saving you $1.30. Save $1 on California Sweet Juicy Black Plums, just $2.99 per pound. Scott Extra Soft Toilet Tissue, only $3.69 for 4 rolls. Markel Pride Paper Towels, just $1.99 for 1 roll. Select varieties of Le Yogurt yogurt, only $1.09 for a 6-ounce tub. Visit our website at www.marketplace.pm for more weekly specials.
Copyfax is Samsung's authorized dealer service center in Bermuda. If you're looking for a tablet, Compufax have a range of Samsung's Tab 3, 5 and 7. They have Samsung's ATIV Book, which has a 15.6-inch screen. And the ATIV One computer has a 24-inch touch screen. Be sure you're buying from an authorized Samsung dealer. In Bermuda, it's Compufax Limited, 96 North Shore Road. They service what they sell. Now at Big Savings Zone, there's the Kids Zone. See the latest bedroom ideas for tots to teens. There's a large selection of beds, bedding, all kind of furniture designed especially in mind for your child. And see the array of accessories for all ages. Big Savings Zone is the home of Ashley Furniture and Serta Mattresses in Bermuda. And the Kids Zone is only at Big Savings Zone, at the end of Stocks Road, St. David's.
Hi, I'm Peter Juretic, host of Season to Taste. Tune in on Tuesday night during the Vsb Tv 11 News, where I'll be here with Chef Tammy Jones. She's going to be preparing this beautiful dish of blackened snapper with a summer fruit salsa, and find out from Stefan what the Gosling's Wine of the Week is.
Tuesday during the Vsb TV 11 News.
Now, here's a look at sports with Earl Baisden.
The L.F. Wade International Airport was a scene of excitement last evening as Bermuda's athletes that made an impression worldwide returned home. Bermuda's Caribbean Island Swimming Championship team returned with a total of 23 medals. Ben Smith, the national coach, highlighted the special moments during the event.
I mean, obviously every day having some medals and to have personal best times was good, but yesterday in particular, watching Jesse swim the 53.9 in the 100 freestyle, that's a special swim. For a 15-year-old to be touching in the 53 range, it shows that he's still on track to be chasing after Roy Allen's heels. That was good, but obviously all the medals and just great performances.
Also returning to the island was Bermuda's CAC Junior Championship team. Double gold medalist Kyra Stratus described her medal-winning performances.
My 800, I'm so disappointed because I was trying to make World Juniors in Oregon, but I'm still happy with coming first. And it was really hard because of the altitude, so my chest was hurting, and plus I have asthma, so I wasn't going to do the 400 at first until I saw the start list. And I was actually 4th fastest time, so I was getting ready, and I was just thinking in my head, how am I going to do this? And I got to the start, and I was nervous coming out the blocks because I don't do 400. So I just bring my 400 and I won.
The Bermuda National Athletic Association President, Donna Watson, then made a special announcement.
Going to Nanjing, we will have 3 athletes. Keonjay Sumner, who just learned this evening that he has been selected for Nanjing. So we have Janai, Kyra, and Keonjay traveling to Nanjing for the Youth Olympics.
By now, we all know that it's now down to 2, as the America's Cup Committee announced Chicago was out of the running, leaving Bermuda and San Diego as the potential host of the 2017 America's Cup. With this announcement, Bermuda will earn the right to host some form of the event in the Great Sound. The Bermuda Cricket Board and Logic today announced that the Logic Premier Division Player of the Week is none other than Taryn Frey from Bailey's Bay, while the First Division Player of the Week is Kyle Lighthorn from PHC. Bermuda's Cal Ripken All-Star baseball team are now 1-1 on their tour to Massachusetts with a 8-7 win over Hudson and a 7-4 loss to Burlington. The Bermuda Volleyball Association hosted the Copperstone Beach Volleyball Tournament at the Horseshoe Bay Beach. Lisa LeBlanc and Rebecca White, making up the team of I'd Hit That, won the Women's Twos Tournament, while Kill the Bunny with Ariel Majeski and Sebastian Lax won the Men's Two Tournament. I'm Earl Baisden reporting for VSB Sports.
People and Places with Charles Webb. Mondays in the VSB TV 11 Evening News at 7:30, 8:30 and midnight. Sponsored by Big Savings Zone at the end of Stocks Road, St. David's.
Every day, 24 hours a day, the Bible Broadcasting Network shares the Word of God around the world in the heart languages of the people. Come and drink in the sounds of BBN at 1280 AM on your radio dial in Bermuda.
Outlast any storm with the most advanced alkaline battery.
This weather segment is brought to you by Duracell Quantum.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's VSB weather forecast. Our weather shot is brought to us by Leanne Perry, taken of last night's sunset at Whale Bay. Perhaps the most beautiful spot on the island to catch the sunset. Stunning shot. Looks like the sky is on fire. It's beautiful yellows and oranges on the top of the photograph with a layer of cloud. Semicircular sun kind of poking out through the cloud as it descends into the sea, or it looks like the way for the night. Thank you, Leanne, for sending this beautiful shot in. Temperatures for today, we had a high of 85 at 11 in the morning and a low of 79 at 4 in the morning. Currently, it's 81 degrees, humidity 75%, wind south-southeast 8 to 12 knots, and barometric pressure is steady at 30.28 inches. Rainfall index in the month of July, 0.65, for a yearly total of 27.29. It's actually a little drier from the yearly normal of 28.01 inches. And taking a look at the satellite. High pressure continues to hold mainly fine conditions with light to moderate south-southeasterly winds into the weekend. Tropical moisture increases towards the end of the week with a few passing showers later on Friday, increasing slightly on Saturday. Looking at the gateway cities, Atlanta, thunderstorms likely, 89. Boston, partly cloudy, 82. Charlotte, possible thunderstorms, 85. London, light rain, 67. Miami, thunderstorms likely, 88. New York, 83, partly cloudy. Orlando, 92, partly cloudy. Philadelphia, 87, mostly cloudy. Toronto, sunny and 70. And Washington, mostly cloudy and 87 degrees. Back at home tonight, partly cloudy with a low near 78. Winds south-southeast, 8 to 12 knots, and then veering southeasterly overnight. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high near 85. Wind southeast, 8 to 12 knots. Marine tonight, seas inside the reef, 0 to 1 foot. Seas outside the reef, 2 to 4 feet. And the sea surface temperature is 84 degrees. Marine tomorrow, seas inside the reef, 0 to 1 foot. Seas outside the reef, 2 to 3 feet. High tide will be at 7:09 in the morning, and low tide will be at 1:13 in the afternoon. And taking a look at the 5-day forecast. Friday, mix of sun and cloud with 1 or 2 showers late, high near 85. Saturday, sunny periods with a shower or 2, high near 84. Sunday, mix of sun and cloud with a passing shower, high near 85. And Monday, partly cloudy with a high near 86. Thank you to Fred Briley, our meteorologist for tonight, and everyone at the Bermuda Weather Service. I'm Rachel Sodden. Have a great evening.
Outlast any storm with the most advanced alkaline battery. Today's weather forecast was brought to you by Duracell Quantum.
It's a beautiful morning.
Hear Keeble the Captain Burgess on Mix 106 FM weekday mornings 6:30 to 11:30. Great music, features, and your requests.
Beautiful morning.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll look forward to your company tomorrow night. Good night.
Peter Cattell's attire, courtesy of A.S. Cooper & Sons Limited. Wardrobe and makeup for Rachel Sodden, provided by Gibbons Company.
Vsb Tv 11, Bermuda.